It's 7:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. First up, there's some good news on the traffic front at Heatherbrae down towards the Hexham Bridge. The Pacific Highway is now open southbound with one lane reopened to traffic, meaning drivers won't have to make the lengthy diversion out towards the RAF base. However, Paul Latto from the Australian Traffic Network says there are other problems to contend with this morning.
Particularly out towards Maitland. Be very careful on the New England Highway. It's still closed west of the Church Street roundabout over the private Streslecki Bridge. Head and Greeter to Gilliston Heights is still out of action on Main Street. Abermain Cessnock Road is also closed in both directions. And Adamstown Heights, Northcote Drive southbound, closed between Park Avenue and the Pacific Highway. That's where we have a tree entangled in power lines. So you'll need to avoid that area. So again, a very poor start right across Newcastle and the Hunter.
There's been further tragedy in the Hunter overnight with a body discovered in a car which had been washed away by floodwaters on Cessnock Road near Maitland. Police say the victim was an 86-year-old woman from Gilliston Heights. She was the only occupant in the car. Sergeant Dave Rose from Police Headquarters says emergency services were called to reports 2 cars had been swept into the water yesterday morning.
Several people entered the water to assist and they in turn had to be rescued. The search continued throughout the day. At around 6:15 last night, police located the 2 vehicles. Police divers were able to confirm no one was in the second vehicle. However, the body of an 86-year-old Gilliston Heights woman was retrieved from the first.
Meanwhile, 2 people are continuing to recover in the John Hunter Hospital following yesterday's head-on crash which claimed 2 lives at Singleton. The Hunter has officially been declared a disaster zone. Disaster assistance funding is now available for people in Cessnock, Dungog, Lake Macquarie, Maitland, Newcastle, Port Stephens and Singleton. Details are available from disasterassist.gov.au, while Wesley Mission in Wood Street, Newcastle West, is opening its doors from 9 until midday for anyone who needs a warm shower, breakfast or to charge their phones. The state government is assisting with the cost of the clean-up. Waste levies have been removed for the next month, meaning we can take green waste and storm debris to the tip for free. Trains are operating again this morning between Hamilton and Wyong, although they're still out of action on the Hunter line. 14 kilometres of track between Paterson and Talara are still underwater, and there's no word on when the line will be repaired at Dungog. Although the rain has eased, around 2,000 people remain isolated by floodwaters, with no power and food supplies dwindling rapidly. Jeanette Pettit from the SES says they're working through a backlog of 3,000 calls for help.
So there's a significant number of jobs still to get to. And our SES members, they're doing a fantastic job out in the field. So please, if you're out there, say thank you to them and give them as much support as you can.
Around 115,000 homes and businesses remain without power as Ausgrid crews continue the massive task of reconnecting customers to the grid. Anthony O'Brien from Ausgrid says extra crews have been brought in to help.
We've brought in additional crews from interstate to join our 800 people working on the ground, 400 extra people from throughout New South Wales and South East Queensland. There are more than 100 specialist tree trimming workers who are working alongside our crews, cutting away these massive trees that have been brought down so we can free the damaged electricity network.
And there's been some drama at Newcastle Airport this morning. Fire crews were called to a hangar just before 4:30 where they found the fire foam system had activated. Crews are still working to clean up the mess, with Newcastle Fire Command saying the hangar is full of foam. Flights out of the airport, though, are not affected. Now with sport, Iona McNabb.
Rick Stone has dispelled rumours he plans a shake-up of the night's line-up, with the provisional 18-man squad announced for the Anzac round this Saturday at Hunter Stadium. After twice hinting he intended to change the squad, Stone now seems unsure he has better options in the reserve. The reserve team have won 4 out of 7 games in the New South Wales Cup this season. South Newcastle may be without Scott Briggs for an extended period if charges are laid for a late hit on Western Suburbs 5/8 Steve Gordon. Replays show Briggs' shoulder colliding with Gordon's head after a pass. The match review committee are due to meet today to determine if there is a case. And Newcastle horse trainer Darren Smith has lost his appeal against a 15-year ban for 42 charges of doping. Between February and May 2014, 20 race day samples and 1 non-race day sample were found to have traces of cobalt, a substance banned by the rules of racing. That's sport. I'm Iona McNabb.
To a new RFM News Time, 25 to 8.